Kanye West dropped his collab album with Dolla a year ago, and since then he has not changed. But we're not really going to be speaking about Kanye because we did that in the last video. Not that anyone saw it.
Boom! 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 Boom!
But back to Vultures, it was a very controversial album because it was the first project he put out since, yeah. And a lot of people said it was his worst album, and I would have agreed, but then they dropped Vultures too. But since release, after this last year of listening to Vultures, I have to say it has actually grown on me. And we did do a ranking video a month after Vultures came out, so now we're going to do one a year later. And the list is very different, I must say. But before we get into anything, comment down below, okay, I'm being phoned. Comment down below your favourite and least favourite song off of Vultures and how you feel about the project a year after release. But without further ado, let's get into this ranking. Okay, so kicking things off, the last two spots are the exact same as they were in the previous ranking video. Paperwork and Hood's Rat, I just really don't like these songs at all. Like, I never listen to these. I'm pretty sure they've been taken off my playlist. Like, these are two terrible songs. Again, as the same with the previous ranking video, I'm not going to go over all the bells and whistles of each track. I'm not a music producer or a reviewer. I'm just giving my personal opinions, and that's that these two songs are trash. Next up though, and in the 14th spot, we have Talking. This is the one that featured his daughter Northwest. It's not an awful song, but it's one of the ones I just don't listen to at all and will immediately skip. The second half of this song is obviously a lot better than the first, but yeah, I've just never really been able to get into this track, and a year later this has actually fallen down the rankings, swapped with the next track, which is Vultures. I suppose this track has kind of grew on me ever so slightly. Like, I get kind of reminiscent of last year when I listened to it, because this is the one they rolled out the album with. It's not a great track, but it's not awful. Again, it's one of the ones I don't really listen to. Like, I will usually skip, but there's been occasions where I have listened to this song in the gym and I just, you know, kind of start thinking about the Vultures era again, when there was maybe a hopeful bit of time that Kanye might change. How wrong we were. But moving on, the next track is King, where Kanye raps about being bipolar, anti-Semitic, and still the king. And a year later, he's apparently not bipolar, definitely not the king, but he is still anti-Semitic. This is the last of the songs I will actively skip and don't listen to at all. Obviously the best of them bunch, but it's still not a great song, and like I said, I never really listened to this track. But although I don't actively listen to this track, I must say I don't mind it. Like, there has been occasions where I do listen to it, but it's just not in my rotation. And I mean, some of the parts of this song isn't awful. I like where he says shut the fuck up before you get exiled. Yeah, you can really tell I'm not a music reviewer here. But that's the last of the do not listen tier. But moving on, and tragically this has fallen from the top, this is Carnival. Carnival's aura when it first came out was unparalleled. Like, this song was fucking incredible. For the gym, for casual listening, for driving, Carnival was the shit. If you needed to lock in, you was listening to Carnival and everyone was listening to it with you. This song was on top of the world until a fucking TikTok, one TikTok, this guy's bar mitzvah or prom or whatever the fuck it was, ruined this song. I don't care how good the song was. Like, sometimes I listen back to it in the gym and I'll be like, yeah, this is the shit. I can't be caught listening to this in public. I will be publicly humiliated. I would rather go to the gym ass naked than be caught listening to Carnival in 2025. Fuck the guy who made this TikTok. This was such a good song before it was ruined. But the social side of it apart, this is still a good song. I still occasionally listen to it in the gym, but I just have to watch my back when I do so. Top 10 most embarrassing moment. But the Carnival fall off really is a tragic story. Maybe the Americans were onto something by banning TikTok. But moving on, the next two are quite similar. I have Do It and then Paid. I think last time I made this ranking video, I called these two songs what I'd expect to hear in the club, and it's the exact same now. These two songs have a certain vibe around them that I very much fuck with. It just gets you into a feel-good mood where you want to go out, drink, go clubbing. Like, it is like a party song. Out of the two, I do think Paid is better, which is why I've put it higher, but that's not to discredit Do It at all, because it is very close. But moving on from these two, we have the more socially acceptable Carnival, which is Fuck Some. On the whole, I'd say this song's aged quite well. I know a lot of people didn't like the fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks part of it, but it's really not that much of an issue. And like old school Carnival, you can listen to this in the gym, in the car, with your mates. Like, it is just a good song. I'm pretty sure last time I put it higher up on the list, but I think since then some of the other songs have aged better to me, such as Keys to My Life. I'm pretty sure this was quite low on the list last time, but yeah, I like this song. Honestly, not much I can say about this this one. This is very much a filler song to me, and I don't listen to it too much. But now we're branching into what I'd consider to be the good songs of the album, with the first being Problematic. And I mean, this shit's beautiful. What is that melody? Dolla very much carries this track. The instrumental is great. The singing is great. Kanye's part on this is pretty good as well. Overall, a pretty solid track. Entering the top 5 though, we have Back to Me. Oh my god, when I first heard this snippet, you know the one I'm on about, where he's jumping around, he's being like, you hear that shit? You hear that shit? What a song. I love this song. I know a lot of people aren't the fondest of it, saying that the snippet was better. I disagree. This song's fucking great. Beautiful big-titted women do not fall out the sky, you know, and I think this song's fucking great. Genuinely, it just puts me in a good mood. I always listen to it. Kanye carries this track. The instrumental carries this track. Just a good track. Not much more that needs to be said. But moving on, we have Burn, and yeah, I love this track. I'm hoping you can tell these are the tracks I really do go back to and listen to a lot. Both Dolla and Kanye do a really good job on this track, and it really shows. It's a fun instrumental on a fun track, and they're just having fun with it. Her body is like the wild, wild west. What the fuck does that even mean? I don't know, but it's fun to listen to. Just a very solid track. But moving on to the top 3, and this is a track that's come really far up the list, which is Stars. I remember saying last time how the first time I listened to this album, this is the first song that came on, and I was just blown away. Like, the album wasn't at all what I expected it to be, and I still get that feeling every time I listen to this song. What a beautiful song. It's very much like how Problematic's beautiful. I think Stars does that and then some. Both Kanye and Dolla do a really good job on this track, and I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, we have the second place, and I've got to say, picking between number 1 and number 2 was very difficult this time, but ever so slightly, I'm giving number 2 to Good Don't Die. If you're not familiar with this track, it's because it was on the album for a couple weeks at launch, and then it got taken off because Kanye didn't clear a sample or something like that. And it's such a shame that this track got taken off, because it is one of the best on this album. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank God for local files so I can still listen to this song. But yeah, it's a beautiful track. Kanye does a great job. I really like the instrumental for this track, and it's such a shame it got taken down because the usage of the sample is just really good. If you haven't already, please listen to this song, because it'll probably change the way you see Vultures. And it's such a shame we didn't get more songs like this in Vultures 2. But what I consider to be like this song is what I've put number 1, and same as last year, which is Beg Forgiveness. Again, very close between these top 2, and I like them both for the same reasons, but I think Beg Forgiveness still has the edge. Kanye absolutely carries this track, and it has got a long intro, a long build up until he actually starts singing, but I can very much appreciate that now, because the payoff is so worth it, and the evolution of this track, and you know, when you hear the chanting Beg Forgiveness getting louder and louder, it's just a really solid track. And I know I said Kanye carries this track, but then Dolla comes in, and his bit is fucking amazing. His shouting, which is singing, which sounds like him begging forgiveness, it's amazing. He does such a great job on this track as well, which is why it's my favorite, and what I would consider to be the best on Vultures. But yeah, we're gonna wrap the video up here. Again, I want to somewhat apologize that I'm not a music reviewer. I'm literally just saying the first things that come to my mind, my honest, raw thoughts on these tracks. And obviously, there's a very good chance your opinions are different to mine, so I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Will I be doing a ranking for Vultures 2? Probably not, due to the fact I literally just never listened to it. Out of the 2, it's easy in saying that Vultures 1 was the better album, and that I don't think we're ever going to get Vultures 3, especially not after Kanye's recent antics. But yeah, thank you all for watching the video. I know the channel hasn't been doing the best this last week. Have I fallen off? Probably, but I would much appreciate it if you guys could subscribe with the notifications on so you don't miss an upload, because I don't know how well YouTube's been pushing my videos. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Genuinely, I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.